Hi, you guys. I hope you'll forgive me. I'm 3 minutes late, according to everything. 6:04, I'm 4 minutes late. I'm sorry. Mea culpa, mea culpa. I ran here as fast as I could. I was still at work by 5:30. Y'all don't live here. Those who don't live here in California, it's about 30 minutes away. So I ran through the door, and then I just needed a minute. Some water, some conversation. My daughter's helping me right now. She ran in the room, set up the lights. I'm still playing with the phone. So I know you're getting used to this Wednesday thing, and I hope it's working out. It seems like you're still able to jump on here, most of you guys that are used to being here with me. And how's your day going? What did you guys do today? Thumbs up. Anybody there? Say hello. Who's going on first? See, that's bad, because if I'm late and then people don't know, this is terrible. Then I'm all by myself. Hi, Vicki. How are you? Hi, Nancy. Yeah, it is awful to be talking to myself. I got to tell you, it's terrible. So I had a crazy day right before I was trying to come on live with you. Hi, David. My mother was calling me, and I thought, wow, okay, that just makes my day on top of everything else that went on today and the craziness of it. Mom's calling me right at 6:02 or something. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Good morning from the Philippines again. And so I'm here. We're trying to figure out, my daughter's trying to support me and look up and see if I can turn on my laptop and get on YouTube. Because I haven't done that for 2 weeks, so I'm neglecting the people on YouTube. Who knows if they're watching or not? Who cares, right? I'm watching with you guys. It's all good. Hi, Vicki. I know, I'm so crazy today. I had the craziest day today. I was at work and just dealing with insanity like no other. And my subject for tonight is perfect for what I dealt with all day today. So the subject for tonight is truth versus perception. The truth versus the perception, or the perception of truth, I should say, okay? I'd love to talk to you all about it. So I am oftentimes working with people who are struggling and suffering. Of course, they're in pain, they're hurting. Addicts and alcoholics coming into treatment for the very first time, or for the 10th time or 15th time or whatever, or people who've had long-term sobriety and they lose it. Hi, Julie. This topic is for you. Everybody thank Julie. Truth versus perception. So when I'm dealing with these people and they're in pain, what starts to happen is my daughter's walking in trying to hand my laptop to me. Hi, boo. Thank you. Oh, man, I don't even know, Tolly. Thank you, love. I appreciate it. She was trying to help me out, set up my laptop. She had a little sweetie pie. All right, so thank you. Hey, George is here, everybody. Say hi to George. Thank you, Vicki. I'm glad you like the subject. I'll get back on task. I don't know how to sign in over here to this whole thing down here. So I got a new little laptop. Not new, it's refurbished actually. And it's smaller and more compact, which is nice because my other one is big and bulky. Hi, Marshall. Most of the time, assumption is very bad for me. So check it out. So the patients that I deal with, addicts and alcoholics in this particular treatment center, oftentimes have a distortion about what is real, okay? Their opinion, they think if something is real for them, that that is the absolute truth, and that is not the case, all right? Hi, Mary. Truth is based in reality and fact. Truth is, I have green eyes. Truth is, my hair is dyed red with some blonde highlights in it, and I'm wearing a white shirt. These are absolute truths. Your perception of it doesn't change it. You might be looking at me and saying, well, your hair looks kind of dark brown or auburn, or I don't care what. Your shirt looks beige. That's your perception of what you're viewing. You are taking information. Oh, I'm glad you like the outfit, Donna. Thank you. It's like I'm wearing a cape, like a little bat or something. So your perception of what's happening is you taking information in through all of your senses and then letting your brain assimilate that information, decipher it, and then come up with a truth. Like, Gina's eyes are green. There's a ladder behind my head. There's books up above me. This is a shelf. This is a bookshelf, right? She must be in a library. Good job. You're taking in the senses and you're trying to understand and come up with a perception of what you're seeing is happening. The truth is what's happening, in fact, in real time. I am talking to you. This is Facebook Live. This is Ask Gina. I am Gina Tabrizy, licensed marriage and family therapist. I am doing this as a public service. I am here to share my experience, strength, and hope, okay? Now, your perception of what might be happening, I think she's rude, I think she's funny, I think she's weird, she talks too much, her hands, blah, blah, blah. That's all your perception. You can view me and see me in any way, shape, or form that you want, and anyone else watching could see me absolutely in a different way. Have you ever gotten in conflict with people and conversations with people regarding them telling you, but that's the truth, but that's the truth? I know because that's what I saw. I know because that's what I heard. How often have you had conflict with somebody because you thought you heard something and they say to you, that's not what I said? Or they say to you, that's not what I intended or what I meant. I can't tell you how often I've said to people, oh my God, I'm sorry you heard it that way. That was not my intention. Like if somebody says you're being mean, you're being loud, you're being angry, you were being aggressive. And you're like, oh my God, that's so not what I meant, okay? So Nancy, I just saw your comment. That's why we like you. I don't know, because I'm like this all over the place. That's great. So I get in conflict with people because I'm speaking my words to you right now very clearly. And to have someone come back and say, that's not what you said, does that ever happen to you? Doesn't that upset you? It totally upsets me. I know exactly what I just said. The words just floated out of my mouth 15 seconds ago. Why are you telling me that's not what I said? Well, the person's perception is what they heard. Your words delivered into their ears, into the brain, up until their higher functioning that says, this is what I heard, okay? Your truth, Julie, you asked me to talk about this, is yours, is the words coming out of you, is your reality, is the facts that you have gathered. Their perception is how they're interpreting that. Your perception is also how you're interpreting a situation. How difficult is it to have conversation with someone who refuses to hear your truth? Because they're perceiving you in a different way. Do you understand what I'm saying about that? So I will admit, in many dialogues with Fareed, who's not on here yet, but when he is, y'all say hi to him. Oh my God, speak of the devil, he's right there. Hi, Fareed. I'm going to talk about you now, so thanks for joining. Hi, Monica. We misperceive each other all the time. And we've been married 25 years and dating and whatnot altogether 30 years. I'm losing track. All the time in normal conversations, he misperceives my intention. I misperceive his equally as often, if not more than, okay? So I often hear things Fareed is saying as anger. He often hears what I'm saying as anger. I know that'll shock you all. Looking at me. So calm, cool, and collected, and always joking. What? That's my truth, okay? That's my truth. The facts that lay out is that oftentimes that is a perception that my spouse has about me. Are you following me? Okay, I'm glad you all are laughing about this. I forgot my water, so I'm sorry if I'm losing my voice and coughing a little bit. I think a lot of times people can't handle the truth. That's why they don't understand you. Yeah, you can't handle the truth. I like to spit the truth out too. Does tonight's topic mean same as everything is relative? Well, sort of, Donna. That's a good way or a different way of putting everything's relative. You're speaking about perception. The topic is, how do I engage? How do I have conversation with people? And Nancy's saying, so perception is not truth, not fact. No, It's not. Perception is the way that you've interpreted and taken information into your understanding, and then you formulate feelings and ideas around your perception. The truth is solid. The truth is known to you. This is a little notepad. This is Gina's head. She's tapping on her head. These are truths. This is not your perception. You're not making this up. I'm beating myself on the head right now. Not making that, hey, that doesn't feel too bad. Now, if I do the tummy thing, I did it. Try this at home. So this is truth. Perception is Gina's angry because she's raising her voice, or she's animated, which is true. Well, that's kind of true, but she seems aggressive. Maybe somebody interprets all this movement of mine as aggressive. That's a perception. My truth is that I'm passionate and that I'm excited and that I'm trying to express something that I care about deeply in hopes of reaching other people and for them to have a new understanding, okay? I hope that answers Nancy and Donna. It's relative to you. Your perception is all relative. The truth shouldn't be. The truth should remain constant and steady. And we're now in a generation at a time where truth doesn't seem to exist. It seems very fluid and is changing all the time. I think a lot of people can't handle the truth, and yep, it upsets me too. Plus I have been on the other end also where I interpret differently. Okay, I get it now. Yay, Donna. So I want you to think about this. How many times in a conversation with somebody that you felt like they didn't hear you? You were trying to express something of importance to you. Maybe you were asking for a favor. Maybe you were making a request. Like, hey, I would love for you to clean up your room. This is a simple request that mamas have of their children all their time. And they continue and repeatedly ignore that request. It's a simple truth. It's a desire that I'm holding in my heart. I would like to ask you to do this because your room is a mess. That is a truth. Anybody walks in there can see that is a mess. That is the truth. My perception is it's disturbing. My perception is it's disorganized. My perception is you're disorganized. My perception is it's unhealthy. It's not good. It's not good to live in that way. Those are all perceptions of mine. That's not the truth. The truth is the room is messy. It is or it isn't. And your truth might be, yes, I acknowledge it's messy, but I don't care. And I don't want to change that. So, if you have a teenager at home like I do, that's probably your truth. However, tell me another truth that you have in dealing with relationship with people that you love or care about. Like timeliness, for example, is one that was very difficult for me to learn. I was always late to everything. Well, the truth was I was late. I could be an hour late to something, 30 an hour, up to 2 hours I've been known to be late. I have improved dramatically in the last 20 years over that. So today I was 4 minutes late and I haven't been late to a live. This was the first time in like a year and I did apologize. I do apologize. Okay. Do you have this issue? So people interpreted in the past, they would tell me their perception was that I was rude. Their perception was that I was careless. Their perception was that I didn't care about them. Okay. Which feels really bad to say. I now understand why they saw it that way. That wasn't my truth at all. My truth was that I procrastinate. My truth was that I wasn't very well organized. My truth was that I didn't think it was a big deal to arrive somewhere late to something, that was just normal. That it was okay. That nobody was waiting for me to get to a particular place at any given time, so it should have been okay. Give me your examples. Tell me of places where you've had a truth and someone interprets a perception that doesn't match your truth and how that's hurt you or affected you. Let me hear from you. Fareed keeps dropping stuff. Gina, is perception and idea the same, you think? Hi, good morning. How are you, Denise and George? ¿Qué percepción emito? What is your perception? Okay, George, that you're emitting, I don't know. I don't know. I perceive you as actually quite funny most of the time and having a good sense of humor. Is perception and idea the same thing? An idea is something that you think about spontaneously, and a perception is taking in And this is Gina's opinion, but also things that I've read, and also I think from a therapist point of view, taking in information into your psyche, into your processing, your emotional and psychological and intellectual processing, taking in information, and then coming up with how you feel about it, how you think about it, how you're interpreting it in your head is perception. An idea to me is a spontaneous thought about a particular thing. Okay? So perception is taking something in, kind of analyzing it, and then having a feeling, a thought, or opinion about it. An idea is this spontaneous, hey, it could be a new truth, an idea. I need to be a therapist, or I need to be an airplane pilot. Might be an idea that becomes a truth. Hope that answered you. I don't know what to say to George. It's the idea. Es muy difícil percibir el perfil de algún aquí, Gina. Okay. You're using big words and in Spanish that I don't understand. Something about profile? To perceive a particular, I don't know. Help me out, George, if you can. So, Julie, it seems to me when people say I'm just telling you the truth, always seems to be negative or cynical comments, hardly positive. Do you guys agree with that? Let me know, because I kind of agree with Julie. So, I'm just telling you the truth. Sometimes people couch, a statement to you that is critical, that is negative, that they imagine is going to be hurtful, and they couch it with, hey, I'm just telling you the truth, like they're doing you a favor. You know what? That's okay. It is okay to people to tell you what their perception is, to say, this is my truth. It's not your truth. They don't get to tell you what your truth is. They don't get to tell you who you are, how you're behaving, how you're thinking. They can interpret you and say, I interpret you to be a very angry person. I'm perceiving you to be very loud and angry and aggressive, and I don't like it. I don't like this aspect of you. That's my truth. Not telling you the truth. Well, sometimes they want to say, well, I think you're mean. I think you're critical. I think you're lazy. These are interpretations they've made about you. And for them to say, I'm just telling you the truth, they're telling you their truth about their perception. I have decided this is true about you. Now, let's take an example where there's facts to back that up. I have perceived you as always being tardy. I see you all the time show up late. You have often been late to a date or an appointment with me. Through all of these events, I've now interpreted, my perception is that you're a tardy person. And I further interpret that to mean you don't care. That's an interpretation I have made. That does not mean that's true, that you don't care. You have procrastination as a character defect and tardiness as a character defect. When someone loves you says, I interpret that as carelessness and it hurts me, you have to decide how valuable is that relationship to you. Is it valuable enough that you want to change and work on this character defect? Can you guys answer that for me? Do any of you have that character defect? I did, as I told you, for almost all my life, being tardy. And I fixed it. I changed it because people in my life started telling me they don't like it. It made them feel disregarded and disrespected, and that made me terribly sad, because it would never be my intention to intentionally harm nor intentionally disregard somebody and their feelings and what they need. That's so contrary to my nature. So I need some more examples from you guys to tell me a little bit more how you manage. Sometimes you have a perception in your family unit that you're not the favorite child, that there's another child that's the favorite child. Any of you have that perception in your family? That your brother is better taken care of, or your brother gets special privileges that you don't, or your sister does, or your sister could do no wrong and your parents were riding you like trying to break a wild horse. Talk to me about that. Your perception in that family might be true if you have a conversation with your parents and they actually confirm and say, yeah, you know, you're right. I favored your brother. Now, good luck with that, because I doubt that that's going to happen for you. But again, It's your perception is by witnessing events, you start to believe that this is a truth, that you were less favored than one of your siblings. Okay, now I'm going to look because you're going to town here. Ivan. Hi, Ivan. I think George is trying to say it's hard to tell people true personality than how it really looks in their picture of personal. That is a beautiful interpretation, Ivan, and thank you, because I did not get it, and I think you're right. People's profiles versus who they really are. Thank you. I think you're absolutely right. That makes online dating and socializing through online things really, really hard because you're not seeing a true person. That's why at least here with me doing the lives, you're getting a more sense of who I am than just looking at the things I write that all sound beautiful and inspirational and wonderful and kind and deep and have wisdom or not. Yeah, you're getting one profile of me. You're not getting to see the whole person. Something like that, Ivan. Yes, George. George has agreed. Mary, the minute I show any different emotion or tone or any sort besides Mrs. Nice Guy all the time, most perceive it as usually negative. Ooh, yeah, girl. You go, Mary. I need to learn to express emotions and speak the truth as it is and stop being Mrs. Nice Guy all the time. Then I would imagine it's not such a shock for others when they see a different side of me. Maybe next week the topic could be effective communication. I love you, Mary. That's awesome. Hi, Mason. Okay. We're talking about truth versus perception. Mary brings up a beautiful point that happens to most of us codependents. Is we're nice all the time, right? I'm moved way past that. I am nice, but I am firm when I am speaking the truth. When I have information to share, knowledge to share, my feelings to share, something that I need from you, something that you're not giving me. If I have an upset with you and I need to confront you, then it's not nice. That's not the word. I'm no longer being nice. I'm being assertive. That's the word, Mary, is you assert your truth, what you need, what you want, how you feel. When you do that consistently with people, they trust you. They see that you stand firm and strong in your boundaries. And that's a solid person. That's somebody that you can rely upon. If you're always nice, you're always gentle, you're always kind, that's fabulous, because when you flip, they don't trust it because you went from 0 to 100. They've never seen you angry or upset or in any kind of discomfort, and then suddenly you're coming with all this energy, and it will throw somebody off very quickly and very easily. It will make them feel uncomfortable, absolutely, and then they will become very critical of you. Does that make sense? They're going to not want to take that in, the information that you're giving them in. You don't have to yell and scream. I've had my fair share of what I say. I raise my voice and I will get loud and passionate. I am not going to call it yelling or screaming. Fareed would probably argue that I have raised my voice and it sounds like yelling to him. And that's okay, because that's a difference of perception, again, an opinion, right? If I'm always talking in this tone, I actually have a staff member who keeps saying that I'm putting her to sleep, if you can imagine. Because I'm talking to you with my Gina public speaking intense voice, but when I'm in therapy and when I'm giving clinical opinion and advice and suggestions, I'm often in this tone that's much more gentle and quiet and calm. And when she hears this tone, she calls it monotone, and she says that it puts her to sleep. So I was trained as a hypnotherapist, and so I know how to pull that tone to do this. If I am always in this tone and then suddenly Gina is talking to you like this in our conversation because I don't know what's happening, you're going to think that I'm very angry. You're going to interpret me as very angry and possibly out of control. And I don't think we ever want people to interpret us as losing control. It is not a mature, loving form of communication. Hi, Brenda. We're talking about perception versus truth and how people often misinterpret you and have misperceptions about you. And it's up to you to share with them what your truth is. Yes, you're right. That's how you saw it, is exactly what it was, girl. I was wrong. I was angry. I was loud. I was mean. We can verify someone's perception of us, and then it becomes truth, doesn't it? So that's another angle we can take. I was just sharing with Mary how if you're only showing people one side of yourself, Miss Nice Guy all the time, then when you have to be firm and assertive, sometimes they don't take you seriously either, which is a huge problem. It's very difficult as a boss or a manager, which Mary is, and I am, to get out of that mode of, because you're doing things with love and compassion and kindness, and you want to treat your staff the same way you want to treat your clients, with love, compassion, and kindness, and then all of a sudden you have to be assertive about something, set boundaries. Maybe you have to write them up for breaking some rules, policies, procedures. It becomes very difficult to shift from being this nice, kind person that they interpret, and then all of a sudden you're the boss, right? So it's always good for people to see your lines and your boundaries. This is my boundary. This is my expectation for us. This is my expectation for this conversation. If you cross that, you will know, because I will let you know. I will let you know that this isn't okay. I will let you know it is not okay to raise your voice at me, to yell at me, to name call me. Huge pet peeve of mine, huge, is name calling. I want to know, have any of y'all had that experience where someone is arguing with you? Loved ones, peers, friends, boss, siblings, I don't care who, spouses, lovers, whomever, children, and they name call you. Please tell me it's happened to you. And it's not just me. And let me read this. Yes, amen. Brenda, yes, I understand what you were saying. Julie, Gina, signing off. Thanks for tonight. I will watch more. Good night. Everybody say good night and more love and prayers to Julie, who's still recuperating from her concussion. It's been a couple weeks and it's coming back slowly. It is very hard for her to do this kind of focused attention. It helps her to just check in and have love and support. So let's send that to her, okay? And Brenda, I'm glad you're getting it and understand. Gina, I'm still working on setting boundaries and being assertive. I still have difficulty with confrontation and avoid it whenever possible, even when I shouldn't. And Nancy, if you've always been a people pleaser, then start setting boundaries. People perceive you are being difficult. Good night and God bless. That's to you, to Julie. Good night and God bless. Oh, yeah. Okay, Nancy and Gina. Yeah, people can interpret you as difficult. Okay, so what? If you've always been silent and silence has injured you and ruined you and hurt you, you've accepted abusive relationships, emotionally, physically, spiritually, abandonment, being rejected, being ignored. These are all forms of abuse in a relationship, just plain being ignored in a relationship, okay? So you've accepted all this and suddenly you wake up. I am tired of being hurt. I'm tired of carrying this pain. I'm tired of feeling this way. I've got to set boundaries. It's a new day. It's a new game. I don't care, honey, if I've been acting this way for 20 years. Today is a new day. Now I'm acting differently. I no longer want to tolerate what's not tolerable. Name calling is not tolerable. It's never okay. Hear me. Hear me if you're watching. Hear me if you're typing. Hear me if you're not typing and you're not engaging with me. Hear me if you know me and you're related to me in any way, shape, or form. Hear me if you work with me, are around me, are a friend, someone that I've known, an acquaintance. Hear me. Name calling is not okay, ever, ever. There's no justification for it. In a relationship and in setting a boundary and in being assertive with someone, you don't have to be cruel. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to say, look, I am telling you right now, that is stupid. And that is not something that I want to deal with. And because you're stupid, I don't want to talk and have this conversation anymore. I think you're being a bitch. I don't like your attitude towards me. I think you're being, you guys fill in the blank, other nasty words and name calling that I don't want to say. You as a recipient of that, no, you get to set a boundary and say, honey, I've always tolerated this. I've always been kind, patient, gentle. You get very passionate when you're angry and expressing your feelings. Does not give you the right to tear me down, break me down, call me names, belittle me. Your anger doesn't give you the right to dump that on me and to beat me up with it. It does not. So let's get really clear. My perception is you're being abusive. Your perception is you're angry and you have the right to speak to me in a certain tone. My truth is I will no longer tolerate this tone, this attitude, this conversation, this name calling. I am drawing a line. I'm drawing a boundary. If someone perceives you as difficult, your answer to that is that's okay. If they say, oh my God, you're no more Mr. Nice Guy, you're being mean, I don't like this confrontation, that's okay. I need to speak the truth in order to safeguard my heart. I need to tell you what I am experiencing, how I'm perceiving, and then I need to tell you the truth about me. These are my boundaries. This is what I'll accept. These are the non-negotiables in our relationship moving forward. That is a confrontation, and a confrontation calls for us to set boundaries. It's not okay to avoid confrontations, you all. So help Gina with this one a little bit, okay? Avoiding confrontation is just leaving room for the person to misinterpret you. It means I have the right to step all over you. I have the right to push you. Not physically, but dear God, not physically either, but emotionally and spiritually. I have the right to ignore your requests because you just avoid me. You don't give me any feedback to let me know that I'm getting it wrong, so I'm going to keep acting this way. So Gina, you have to give people, the other Gina, I'm not talking to myself, but I'll talk to myself too. Gina, girl, you need to set them boundaries. Because not telling people what you need, what you want, what is required to have a healthy relationship with you, then they get to do whatever they want. And they're going to misinterpret that it's fine. Hey, she's okay. I just call her a bitch sometimes. I don't mean it. She's okay with that. Hey, I call my husband an ass. He's all right with that. He knows I'm kidding. No. If you don't tell a person, it's not funny. It's not a joke. I don't like it. I'm quite offended by it. It makes me feel that you're disrespecting me, that I don't matter, that I no longer hold value to you. If you don't say those words, then you are opening up room for that person to treat you however they want to treat you. And they will misperceive who you are. They will misperceive that there's an actual boundary in place because you've never put it there. I hope you heard that. Hi, Diana. Hi, Nora. Happened to me. That's when I walked away. Good job, Nora and Brenda. Nora finally woke up. Wake up, girl. Set them boundaries. Don't take that. Don't take that stuff. And thank you, Brenda. She says, I'm right. Gina says, absolutely. It feels good to have found my voice, and I know I have the right to use it. Amen, girl. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. Diana, are we on Wednesday now? Yeah, I'm sorry you missed it. I made the announcement like 2 weeks ago, so it's been 2 weeks of Wednesdays. And 3 weeks before that, I talked to you guys about it, whoever was on the live, and said, hey, will it be a problem? I hope you can join me. My work is a crazy schedule, and Thursday, although today was just as crazy and I ran in here at 6:04, Thursday is much harder. And so I switched the days hoping that I could get in here and calmly sit down and start to talk to you. But no, I rushed in here like I do on my crazy Thursday too. And thank you, Mike. Sticks and stones break my bones. Names will never hurt me. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. That's the rest of that sentence. Gina, thank you. And I'm working on it. Made a lot of progress. Brenda, I'm a very nice person to everyone, but when they are not nice to me, look out, because I definitely let them know how I feel. Yeah, and I'm glad that you do, and you should. Hi, Linda. Good topic. We need to express ourselves on what we need. And Mike, I think until you learn to like and love yourself, anything goes. I think you might be right, Mike. And I think bigger picture perception versus truth is if you're perceiving that you're a person that people walk on, take advantage of, not mistrust, but break trust with or violate trust, your trust, betray you, then you need to look at the truth is you're allowing that somehow in your life by not setting boundaries, by not setting people straight about who you are, what you need, what's okay, what's not okay to do with you. They're misperceiving you as it's all right, and they're doing what they want with you. So work on those boundaries. That's one way to change that perception into a truth. And the truth being, I'm not a pushover. You will not abuse me. You will not walk on me. You will not take advantage of me. You will not betray me. If you do, that's all right, because I will be walking. That's a truth. So you've changed a perception of you being a pushover, wishy-washy, to a truth of, no, I take action and I go when you treat me in a manner that is disrespectful, because I have now informed you of my truth of what I consider to be disrespectful. Fair enough? I think I just summed up the whole talk in that last paragraph. So if you missed anything, that's okay. Just listen to the last 30 seconds there, because that told you everything about what I was talking about. Somebody here, Pi Johnson Vashandala. Hi. I'm glad I'm not letting anyone running over me. Yeah, you do that. Don't let anybody run over you. It is not worth it, let me tell you. Unless they're a massage therapist or a chiropractor who's working on your back and helping clear stress out of your spine, nobody should be running or walking over you, okay? Thank you, Vicky, for saying that. Well, I'm so grateful that you all joined me. We're at time. Yes, I am live now Wednesday nights. Tell your friends, share it on your Facebook, encourage people to join in. Please send me your topics. This topic was sent in by Julie Miners, who you saw earlier. Please send it to me. Send a little messenger and say, Gina, I want to hear about this. Mary sent her idea about effective communication. I've done other talks on communication. I'm open to that. If you guys are up for it, send me a thumbs up or tell me, yeah, I like that topic, or anything else that came to your mind tonight while we were talking, okay? Please send me more topics that we can talk about, and I'll keep jumping on here and walking through it with you. I know we've covered a lot of ground in almost a year that I've been doing this, and I thank you for being here with me and spending that time with me. Go on my page, like it, share the videos. That really, really helps when you take the video and you share it other places, all right? When we're done here, I'll upload it, and I will also upload it onto YouTube, all right? So if you missed it, you can go back and watch it. And if you need a refresher, my clients often say, I wish I could carry you in my pocket so I can, those words you say, that I can use them. So I always say, go back. I used to tell my clients, write it down. Now I can tell them, watch the video and write it and take it with you. Take the words with you and empower yourself. I hope that works. I hope that you use that in that way, because that's amazing. And that's why I'm here, okay? So bless you all. Thank you again. I miss you, Mary. You owe me a dinner to meet each other for a dinner. I offered you a dinner a long time around your birthday, and we still didn't do it. So I'm going to hold you to it, all right? Good night, y'all. Good night, Brenda. You're awesome. Thanks for always sharing your wonderful insight. Thank you, Brenda. Love you, too. Thanks, David. Goodbye, you all. Send each other some love, too, all right? See you soon.